Debt is a universal part of modern life and the U.S. economy, and it can be used either for the better or the worse. Although most people only recognize bad debt, rich people often leverage debt to become wealthy by using it to invest in income-generating assets or businesses, which have the potential to appreciate in value over time. They are able to use other people's money to make investments that they might not have been able to afford otherwise. Leverage is using borrowed money to increase your return on investment. It can allow you to achieve returns that you thought were impossible when starting out. Here are 5 ways rich people leverage debt to grow their fortunes. Number 5. Start or buy a business. Rich people use debt to start or buy businesses. They might take out a loan to fund the initial costs of the business or buy an existing business. Starting and growing some businesses is nearly impossible without some sort of small business loan or investors. Some businesses require permits, buildings, hiring staff, inventory, and so much more. When they are first getting started, they probably won't have a lot of money of their own to do all this. So small business loans provide the perfect solution. As the business becomes successful, they can generate income and use that income to pay off the loans while still having a profitable business. As an example, one of the most successful companies in history may not have survived without access to debt. Steve Jobs leveraged debt in order to launch Apple by selling 50 personal computing devices dubbed the Apple I to a computer store known as Byte Shop. Despite not having the necessary parts to construct the computers and being in a state of financial uncertainty, Jobs was able to show the shop's purchase order and secured a loan from a computer parts company. This loan made it possible for him to bring his vision for Apple to life. Number 4. Invest in real estate. One of the most common ways that rich people use debt is by investing in assets that they expect will appreciate over time. Real estate happens to be one of these assets. Rich people use debt to purchase investment properties and take advantage of the tax benefits that come with owning real estate. They can also use the rental income from the property to pay off the debt, while the property appreciates in value, making them wealthier over time. They can also sell the property for a profit and use the profits to pay off the loans or reinvest the proceeds into more real estate holdings. By repeating this process over and over, the rich build up their wealth portfolio with large real estate holdings. The larger their real estate investments become, the more loans and lines of credit they have available to them to keep expanding. Before taking on debt to invest in real estate, they first determine what their investment goals are. Are they looking to generate rental income, flip properties for a profit, or hold on to properties for the long term? Understanding these goals helps them make informed decisions about which properties to invest in and how much debt to take on. They also conduct research on the real estate market to identify areas where there is potential for appreciation in property values and areas that offer the best returns for their investments. Number 3. Lower taxes. Another advantage that the rich have when borrowing money to start or buy a business is the provisions available in the tax code to legally reduce the taxes they can pay. They know that businesses can deduct the interest paid on their debt from their taxable income. This reduces their taxable income and can lower their tax liability. For example, if a business has $100,000 in taxable income and pays $10,000 in interest on its debt, it can deduct $10,000 from its taxable income, resulting in a lower tax bill. When a business they own uses debt to purchase assets, such as equipment or property, they can take advantage of depreciation. Depreciation allows a business to deduct a portion of the cost of the assets from its taxable income each year, thus lowering its tax liability. The rich also know that if a business takes on debt and then suffers a loss, depending on the nature of the loss, it can deduct that loss from its taxable income. This can help offset the tax liability of the business. Also, if a business incurs a loss in one year, it is able to carry that loss forward to offset taxable income in future years. This can be very beneficial if the business expects to have higher taxable income in the future. Rich people who own rental properties can use the rental income to offset the expenses associated with owning the property, such as mortgage interest, property taxes, and maintenance costs. It's important to note that using debt to reduce taxes can be a complex strategy that requires careful planning and management. Rich people who use this strategy have access to financial advisors and tax professionals who can help them navigate the tax code and maximize their tax savings while also managing their debt effectively. Number 2. Access liquidity. Being in debt is sometimes stereotyped as something people do only if they don't have a ton of money or are living beyond their means. The reality, however, is that people with lower incomes are not actually the ones who are borrowing the most money, and borrowing is not always a bad thing. In fact, according to data from the Federal Reserve, wealthy people actually end up borrowing a lot more money than the country's lowest earners, and the top 1% of the population actually holds a whopping 4.6% of all debt, while the bottom 50% of the country only holds 36% of the outstanding debt. Liquidity is a measure of how quickly and easily an individual or organization can access cash to meet its financial obligations or invest in new opportunities. One way that rich people can access liquidity through debt is by setting up lines of credit with their bank. A line of credit is a flexible type of loan that allows borrowers to access funds as needed, up to a predetermined credit limit. The borrower only pays interest on the amount of funds they withdraw. Rich people are also able to access liquidity by taking out margin loans against their investment portfolio. This can involve borrowing money from their brokerage firm, using their investment portfolio like stocks as collateral. Margin loans typically have lower interest rates than other types of loans, making it an attractive option for wealthy investors. A perfect example is when one of the world's richest men, Elon Musk, was planning to purchase Twitter. He had the option of pledging some of his Tesla shares as collateral for lines of credit, instead of selling all his shares and paying capital gains taxes. Rich people also tend to have significant equity in their homes that they can access by taking out a home equity loan or line of credit. These loans allow borrowers to borrow against the equity in their home, which can be used to finance investments or other expenses. In some cases, rich people may need short-term financing to bridge a gap between two financial transactions. For example, they might need financing to purchase a new property before selling their existing property. In these situations, they can take out a bridge loan, which is a short-term loan that provides immediate access to liquidity. Finally, rich people may use debt as a way to access liquidity. If they need cash quickly for an investment opportunity, they can take out a loan rather than selling their assets. This can allow them to take advantage of time-sensitive opportunities without sacrificing their long-term financial goals. Number 1. Buy assets at a discount. During economic downturns or market corrections, assets may be available at a discount due to decreased demand or other factors. Rich people use debt to take advantage of these opportunities and purchase assets at a lower cost, with the expectation of realizing significant returns when the market recovers. The 2008 financial crisis that resulted from the housing market collapse is a recent example. Distressed assets are assets that are being sold for less than their true value, typically due to financial distress or other issues. Rich people use debt to purchase distressed assets, such as foreclosed properties or distressed businesses, at a discount. By doing so, they can potentially generate significant returns when the assets recover in value. They also use debt to increase their leverage or buying power when negotiating deals for assets. For example, they may use debt to offer a higher down payment on a property, or to make an all-cash offer, giving them an advantage over other potential buyers and potentially allowing them to negotiate a lower purchase price. Rich people also use debt to pay for renovations or improvements to an asset they bought at a discount, such as real estate. By investing in these upgrades, they can increase the value of the asset and potentially generate a higher return when they sell or rent it out. As you can see, using debt can be a powerful tool for rich people to build wealth and achieve their financial goals. By using debt strategically, anyone can invest in assets that generate income, start or acquire businesses, invest in stocks and other securities, leverage existing assets, consolidate and refinance debt, and legally lower their taxes. However, it's important to note that debt comes with risks and should be managed responsibly to avoid potential financial pitfalls. It's important to work with financial advisors and tax professionals to develop a comprehensive debt management strategy that supports long-term financial goals and minimizes risk. When used correctly, debt can be a valuable asset in building wealth and achieving financial success. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about using debt to become rich. If you like the content, please subscribe, comment, and share this video. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload new videos.